Hello again. It is Winged Nation presented by Hercules Tires. Right on our strength. Talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week. And we are so glad that you have joined us. Ashley Strumming. I'm so confused this week because Ashley is not with us. So Erin did the TV program. So I'm like, well, I haven't said Ashley Strumming and Steve Post this week. So I figured I owed you one.
I'll take it as a compliment.
There we go. Our very own pageant queen, Erin Evernham,
yeah,
is here as well.
Not sure what kind of pageant that would be.
Well, there we go. Exactly. How are you? Everything
good.
well?
Yeah, very good. You?
Fantastic. I
Yeah?
got sprint car racing in last weekend.
No.
Little barbecue, little NASCAR, little sprint car racing. I mean, how can a guy complain? Look at this brand new shirt. My new Wing Nation gear. Available at wingnation.com too. I'm all geeked up. It's all good.
I can tell.
Yeah, and English as a second language. It looks like one of those days too that we're going to be tongue-tied because I get talking too fast. But no, it is great. We're going to be talking sprint car racing, and we are glad you joined us here on Winged Nation. I got to I-70 Motorsport Park. First off, just wow.
Yeah.
These racetracks that are being created, Jackson Motorplex, what they're doing at Port, what Peter Murphy, it sounds like he's doing out at Keller, and now I-70. I mean, it's unreal.
Well, the before and after pictures were like
it's
night
crazy.
And day.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. And I was at I-70 years ago for a truck race, like in '98, I think it was.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I was with Randy Tolzman's team, and it was an old, worn-out asphalt track then. And it is not old and worn out now, and it's a dirt track, but it is state-of-the-art.
Now, they shortened it, right?
Boy, just a little. You talk to anybody that was there, they shortened it, but not a lot.
All right, that's what I thought. I mean, I looked at it like they shortened it.
It
It's still
sounded
huge.
like they really shortened it, but when you got there, it was like, well, they didn't. It's
okay.
It's, I think Johnny Gibson said it's listed as 0.45 of a mile, so 4.5 tenths is what it is. And I think they measured that from the bottom to the top. So it's still it's just under half mile. Pretty good, wide, sweeping racetrack. Fast. Oh my gosh, it was good.
They said shortened it. And I know Sammy mentioned it on our show a few weeks ago that the old I-70 was one of the faster places.
Yeah, I was talking to Mike Larson, Kyle's dad, and Mike was listening to the show, and he said, Sammy, and he was talking about it, and that had kind of put in mind when him and Janet went there years ago, and kind of put that in mind, and then when they walked in, and he was one of them telling me they didn't shorten it as much as it sounded like they shortened it. And you're right, Sammy talked about it. But fast, good, great to catch up with everybody, great to see everybody.
You see any of those fists being thrown
I
around?
missed it. I walked in. Just as I walked in, there was the buzz in the garage, and initially, it was thought there was one video. Come to find out, there's about 27 videos.
Yeah, I saw some new angles today.
There was new angles. Oh, there's the bike toss.
Yeah,
There's all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I mean, boys have at it. I mean, just a lot of emotion from the night before spilled over.
Yeah, I think from a few nights before. I think it's been something that's...
Well, I don't think Wayne and Erin were probably on each other's gift card registry and list
I don't
either.
think they sent each other Christmas cards.
No, I don't, and I think this goes back, well, I know it goes back a ways.
Yeah.
And so...
And I've known Wayne a long time. If he threatens, he's going to stick up for you.
Well, Wayne's take on this thing is, as far as the fisticuffs, whatever happened on the track and it's happened to him in the past, Wayne's take on it is, I'm a man of my word.
That's what I meant.
And I said, if you're running your mouth, if you're running your jaw, I'm going to break your jaw. And so, well,
that sounds
one thing
very
happened,
Wayne.
That does sound like Wayne. One thing happened and the other thing happened. And Wayne's like, I'm a man of my word. If I don't have my word, what do I have? I'm like, there you go, Wayne. Attaboy.
I mean, it brought some attention to the World of Outlaws.
No doubt. I mean,
that social media, it blew up.
You and I, neither of us know Erin as well.
Yeah, no.
As Wayne. Erin has just been phenomenal with us.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we have him on, we get to talk about his kids, we get to talk about everything, and he is a world-class race car driver.
Absolutely.
We have, through your Knoxville connection, and then just more time in the pits, we probably know Wayne better, and we both love Wayne. And it's one of those things, it's like two of our kids fighting, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh, well, and because we love and respect all of them, and it was just interesting, but good times.
Yeah.
Good times. Yep. So they played it on the, you wondered because when the video first surfaced, Wayne told the guy, he said, well, it was Chaz, that guy, the Chaz that does all that crazy stuff. Wayne said, keep that video to yourself. Well, then the World of Outlaws posted it. So I was like, well, the game on.
Game.
Yeah. And then they played it in the crowd. Crowd went wild. They played it on the big screen. Of
course they did.
Yeah. I want to say this also. I mean, we talked about state-of-the-art I-70. One of the things the World of Outlaws has done this year is worked on their fan experience. And the big screens go to all the races now, or the big screen or screens. Boy, I got to tell you, that's nice. That's nice to have. That really is. I mean, it's just, you go, and when Johnny's doing it, when you're sitting at home, referencing a replay, you're sitting at home. But when you're sitting at the track, and what replay? It just ties it all together really well. I think the World Racing Group did a really good, first off, their product, their racing is so good. They took the pay-per-view experience and have made it really, really good. And they're taking a lot of that and bringing it back to the track. So you're sitting there at the racetrack now, you have replays and you have all of they've done a nice job. And you take a state-of-the-art facility and then you put the big screen in and everything else. And the experience is really good. It's really pleasant.
I'm looking forward to getting that experience again.
You've been gone. You've been out of the loop.
Yeah.
You're going to need to have a little name tag on you. My name is Erin, so.
It's been that long.
Yeah, exactly. But you're getting some races coming up. You'll get some races. Yep. You got a good schedule coming up. You're going to be all right.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
Well, withdrawals.
Yes. Let's get to our Hefner Racing Products hot topics. The hot topic, the hottest topic is the Big Cat Brad Sweep. It was a World of Outlaws sweep. Thursday night, Jacksonville, late race battle and win over Donnie Schatz. Friday night, passive gravel. Brownie was rolling in the last couple of laps. I thought Brownie, if he another lap or two, it would have been real interesting because he had her wound up. He had some good momentum, really good. And then Saturday, I-70 late race pass of Sheldon. And so Brad is just rolling. We're going to talk to Brad. So we'll just see from our perspective how good he looks, but from his perspective, how good does he feel about it all now? I mean, you know how these drivers are. Well, that's not good enough. It's not good enough.
Well, there's always room for improvement.
Always room for improvement. Saturday was May 1st. Justin Sanders in California won the Sprint Car Challenge Tour, Erin, his 10th win of the season.
It's crazy. I mean, we're talking about Brad, who has 8 wins on the season. Right. And probably run more races.
Yeah, they probably ran, comparable.
Granted, we're talking Outlaws versus California, but regardless, 10 wins by May 1st.
Sanders had to take this one on a green light checker off from Dominic Scelzi. Boy, that last few laps of this thing was just spectacular.
I did see that.
So Justin Sanders is the driver, I think, across the country with the most wins. All-Stars, they were in Western Pennsylvania. Love Western Pennsylvania. Rain on Lernerville. Justin Peckett-Sharon and Sam Hafertepe Jr. won at Tri-Cities. We're going to talk to Sam as well, our 410 buddy. 410 buddy. We're gonna change the narrative here. Okay. Other winners, Linton Jeffrey. I watched this race. So cool to see Linton Jeffrey win at Knoxville. Blaine Heimbach. We talked about ASCS going into Pennsylvania. They got winded out at the Grove.
Yeah.
Like 60-mile-per-hour winds or something like that. Don't be able to be walking across that bridge with that. End up blowing your bonnet off. And so Blaine Heimbach won at Selinsgrove. And at Babs, how about Brett Marks? We had him on last week on our podcast.
2 for 4.
It's unreal. I mean, he's just rolling. Now, the good news is he needs to be rolling because next week things get real, business picks up in Pennsylvania.
Sure does.
So we'll see what happens, but good stuff. Some great stuff, that's for sure. Speaking of great stuff, our friends at Hefner Racing Products, they have great stuff for your trailer and shop. They know sprint car racing, therefore they know what works best for your team. No other accessory can match the quality, performance, and design. Top trailer builders use HRP trailer accessories to outfit their stock and custom-built units.
And they're always adding, like new cordless tool charging stations. They're sleek in design, hold 2 cordless drills, impacts, or flashlight, and battery chargers. Keeps clutter from your workbench. And their roster includes something for every racer, team, trailer, and shop. So don't settle for anything less than Sprint Car Racing's #1 accessories manufacturer.
www.hrpracing.com. Remember, promo code MRN, 10% off free shipping on that first order. Oh,
big doings.
Just order it up, that's for sure. Speaking of ordering it up, let's go back and take a listen to what it sounded like on Friday night. It was I-70 Raceway Park, World of Outlaw NOS Energy during sprint cars. David Gravel, the race leader, not for long. Here comes Brad Sweet. Here's Johnny Gibson with a call on Dirt Vision.
And now for the Dryden death-defying move of the week. where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track
Sweep
moves.
to the inside in 1 and 2. Slower car in front of the leaders. Gravel to the outside, sweep to the inside, slides up the racetrack and takes the lead. They get together out of turn 3. Some contact there as Brad Sweet leads lap 24.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Deaf, the official deaf of the world of outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
Over the years, Dryden has stood for uncompromised value and proven performance. Known as the hardest working brand in heavy-duty lubrication, Dryden's heritage is made in America and made to last. Dryden products work to increase the life and enhance the efficiency of your equipment in the toughest conditions. Learn more about Dryden's products at Dryden.com. From grassroots racing to NASCAR, Dryden is a proud supporter of racing everywhere.
Over 200 events from coast to coast, and they're celebrating 30 years of Scattering Soil, the American Sprint Car Series. The world's largest sprint car sanctioning body is bringing more thrills with wing and even more non-wing action in 2021. 11 regional tours, the national tour. No matter where you are, we're coming to a track near you. Can't be there? Get double the streaming fun with Racing Boys and FlowRacing.com, bringing all the adrenaline to your favorite streaming device. See the full lineup of events now at ASCSRacing.com.
Welcome back. It is Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires, right on our strength. And we are going to the Dryden hotline, where I'm not even sure where to begin with this guy, because he is just absolutely on fire. Swept the weekend 3 for 3 with the World of Outlaw and all Sunday to drink sprint cars. He drives that Napa number 49. The big cat, Brad Sweet, joins us. Hello, Brad. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Thanks for having me back on. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm telling you what, we can't have anyone else on because nobody else is winning any. No, I mean it's Brad. Just how content are you with your deal? I know you're always working on stuff, but how content are you after a weekend like this?
Never really content. You know, there's a lot of different ways you could look at the weekend. I think it could have went a lot of different ways. You know, we definitely had some things fall our way, you know, and you know, we definitely had good cars all weekend and we're in contention and things did fall our way, but they obviously could have went a different way and we could have not won, you know, two of those or, you know, one of those pretty easily. So, you know, we've had a good car. We've had, you know, we've been up front a lot and I think that helps, you know, that sometimes when things do go your way, it seems like everything goes in waves, you know, so we're going to ride this wave, but, you know, we're still working on a race car. You know, we were better at I-70, which is a half mile than we've kind of been, and which was great. We were definitely working on some things, and some things definitely were hitting pretty well. So we've been good on the short tracks, and, you know, we're going to go to Eldora this weekend, and I'm sure there's going to be a whole new set of challenges that we're going to have to face and try to overcome.
Brad, you said things could have gone differently, but like you said, you have speed. You're up front. You've won 8 races so far, but it's got to feel good to go to somewhere like Jacksonville or Bullring and win, and then go to something like, you know, a half mile at I-70 and win. I know you mentioned you haven't been as strong as you'd like on the half miles, but that's got to feel really good to have a car or a team and setup that's that versatile.
Yeah, I think to me, what stands out on the weekend is, you know, just being able to come from 9th at I-70 that first night. You know, there wasn't a lot of passing going on, and a lot of other guys, you know, weren't able to get their cars to work on the parts of the track that we were able to get our car to work. So, you know, definitely a lot of positives to take out of the weekend. You know, we've been strong on the short track, so we kind of expect, you know, to be there. And then, you know, the half miles, you just sometimes we get a little behind in qualifying or early in the night, it's been hard to overcome. So that was nice to kind of have a package that could kind of, you know, get me rolling in the A main and kind of get up there and you know, battle for the win. So that was pretty cool. And obviously that second night at I-70, I thought Sheldon was, you know, better in open track. And then, you know, late in the race, I thought we got going pretty good. And then just obviously a late race restart, you know, played into our hands and I thought we were pretty good those last few laps, but you just never really know. Every race plays out different and you just always got to be in position. And luckily we've been in the right positions lately.
Yeah. You're right. Things do fall, but that fast race car falls your way too, and that doesn't hurt you at all. I was doing a little research. I'm writing a little blog or something here coming up in the next day or two, and it doesn't seem, it's like 2014. You settled back in with KKR, and so you've been working on this. And you've really developed this chemistry, not only with Casey, but with the cars, with the team. When you experiment on a half mile, when you have a good car on a short track, and when you travel to Eldora next, how much comfort does it give you knowing that you have that long-term, rooted, deep relationship with Casey, with your guys, and you're taking that team to battle with whatever you face this coming weekend?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly helps to have an owner that stands behind you and believes in you, and there's a right way to put pressure on, drivers to get the best out of them. And Casey's always, been a guy that he's been a driver himself, so he knows, the blame game doesn't work, teamwork does work. And, when there's an issue or a driver's not doing well, he's always tried to figure out how to, get the best out of the driver and make sure that we're, the car's, in the right spots so the driver can succeed. And I think that's, what we've created is, it's just, it's something that we're always working for a common goal. It's not he's not sitting there saying you need to do this and we need to do that. It's, how can we do this? And, what do we need to do to get better? And I think just kind of with that mindset and working together over the years, at this point, we just want to win. He's invested so much time into, myself and the race team, and so have I. I've invested, tons of time in figuring all this out, and, you get to this point in your career, and, to me, it's just time to execute it. It's time to capitalize on, all our investment, all our work. We're at the place that we worked so hard to get to, and, in these situations, you don't always get to stay on the mountain that long. So we definitely want to stay on top of it and, obviously win as many races and championships and big races and, as we can while we're in this position, because we know how hard it is to get here.
Brad, adding on to what you just said, one of the nights after I-70, you said something like you're at the highest level you've ever been at as a driver. And you mentioned all the hard work you've put in, but this year we've talked to a lot of different drivers about the mental game of racing. Whether they visualize themselves in victory lane or they're studying film or whatever it may be. And we know we talked to you for years about the mental side, but what is it like to have that confidence now? And where does it come from? Is it experience? Is it visualizing? Is it all of it?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the main thing is just experiences and just gaining the experience to get to this level. Obviously, you have to have the right mindset. You have to have the right talent. You have to have the right team. You have to have everything kind of come together. But, I think what separates, a guy at the top is just the experience. You just kind of know what to do a lot of the times. And you don't get too worked up, maybe when you didn't qualify as good or you're not in as good of a situation, your head just stays right and you stay focused on, what the task at hand is. And, you keep working on your race car and obviously once the track gets in the A main, a lot of the times, you have a good race car, you can pass cars. So I think just doing it for a while now, and then obviously, once you know what your car should feel like, you're always working to get that feel out of your race car. Once you know what it's like to win races, you kind of have that feeling of what it takes to win, and all that stuff just comes with doing it for a while. So I think that's why you see a lot of sprint car racing. You see a lot of the, veterans and guys with some experience do so well. And you see rookies that have a lot of talent, but it takes a while for them to put it all together where they can compete for a championship over, a 90 race schedule or, where they can win, multiple races in a season, so it just takes a while. But, once you're there, it's, it's a great place to be, and it's, worth all the investment of time that you put in.
Yep, absolutely, and I'll tell you what, it's impressive to watch. It really is, because for us sprint car fans, man, I'm telling you what, It looks really, really good on the racetrack. I happened to watch Friday night. I was at the racetrack, and I just felt like you were in the 9th spot. It's going to be interesting to see what you did. So I watched every pass, every move, and that car and you and everyone is just rolling. All right, I'm going to go totally off the racetrack, though. It's 12:20 Eastern time on a Tuesday. What are you doing? Where are you at, and what are you doing?
I'm at home. Just was sitting here with my wife and daughter, and just looking at the calendar. We're trying to figure out all my flights and trying to figure out, when we're going to go on vacation, and then trying to just figure out which races they would come to and which ones I'll come home from, and just trying to lay it all out, and then getting ready to do a mid-morning workout, and then we'll go to lunch or make lunch at here, and then just kind of relaxing, just kind of enjoy the nice California weather and some family time for a couple of days before we get back on the road here.
Yeah, you got a busy stretch coming up with Eldora and then over to Pennsylvania. But your mid-morning exercise, what are you working on today?
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of come out in the gym, and I have a whiteboard that kind of has some workouts on it. So today I'll probably do I kind of have a Tuesday routine where I do biking kind of on Mondays, and then Tuesday I'll do more of the rower and then some lifting, some stuff that's more strength oriented. So just I try not to overdo it, because I feel like you can do too much, especially to try to go for a whole season of trying to stay in shape for as long as we need to be in shape. So just try to get 2 or 3 good workouts in a week, and sometimes I go a little harder than other times, but try not to overdo it too much.
You mentioned vacation. Where do you and the family like to vacation?
Oh man, after the last year, we weren't able to do really much. So at this time, we're kind of looking at going to the Bahamas, Florida. We're definitely a warm weather family, so we didn't get to go to Australia this year, and that's usually kind of eats up our winter time, and this year we didn't. So we like to go places that have beaches and that are warm. So we're going to hopefully take Savannah on a couple of good beach trips.
That sounds awesome. Brad, we appreciate you taking some time out of the glamour portion, the traveling, the airline flights, all of the fun stuff with the calendar. That's the glamour portion of the job. But we appreciate you taking some time, and we'll be following along at Eldora and on throughout. We wish you the best continued success as 2021 carries on.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, and hopefully we'll be talking again soon.
Fairly confident we will. Thanks, man. Here we go.
Yeah.
The big cat, Brad Sweet. One thing struck out to me, and I don't like talking to drivers much about other drivers. Watching that finish at Jacksonville, last lap, next to last lap, Donnie gets by him, Brad gets back by him. 3 years ago, Donnie Schatz wins that race almost every time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just this is where we're at now, and this is how it. And this is not a knock on Donnie nor a knock on Brad. It's a compliment to both of them. But 3 years ago, when Donnie passes somebody on the white flag lap, it's over.
And whether it's equipment or it's just what he said,
exactly, experience and everything else. And but it's the confidence. You when you get clubbed, I don't care who you are, and this is everybody that has ran World of Outlaws up until about 3 years ago. When you get clubbed every night by the same guy, I don't care who you are, that's got to affect you. Yeah. And Donnie clubbed him on a regular basis. Now we're getting to the stage where he's won the last 2 championships, and he's rolling now. Now the clubbee is the clubber. I think that's right, isn't it? But he's rolling, and look what happens. Those late race battles, he's winning them now. And he won a lot of races. I'm not saying, but this goes back, you think about Eldora when he won the Nationals. Remember that red flag? And he sat there and looking at the scoring pylon, and it's 49-15, and how much that, and what he talked about, and just the way he went through that.
Yep.
Yeah, he ran 2 perfect laps. This is the difference between great sprint car driver, which Brad Sweet has been for years and years and years, and excellence. And right now we've got that excellence, and it's fun to watch. Like I said, I watched. I somehow, when he was starting 9th, I said, it's going to be interesting to see what he does, and I watched the whole thing. I'd look at the front, I'd look at the battle, but I'd keep an eye on him. I'm telling you what, and that car was better all night long. And boy, when you're Brad Sweet as a driver and your car gets better all night long, you're going to win races. It's impressive. It really is. We're watching a treat right now, the way that car and he is driving. So good stuff. Now, as he said, Eldora, another group of challenges. Bristol the week before was a different group of challenges.
Pennsylvania.
And then Pennsylvania. So ride the wave while you can. Hey, we do need to step away. Speaking of riding the wave, Sam Hafertepe Jr., he's riding a 410 wave, and we'll talk to him in just a moment. Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTires.com. There you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the tire tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTires.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength. Sage Fruit is a premium grower, packer, and shipper of Washington tree fruit. Apples, pears, and cherries, and it's always an exceptional eating experience, and they're grown in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. High-quality fruit, exceptional flavor, healthy snacking, and they're a longtime supporter of sprint cars, sprint car racing, and Wing Nation. Make sure when you go to your local grocery store, ask for Sage Fruit.
Circle B Diecast is the new diecast outlet from Plan B Sales. What started as Lionel and Chase Authentics apparel distributor has grown into the largest distributor of diecast and now includes Auto World, Greenlight Collectibles, Brand Art, Sam Bass Artwork, and University of Racing lines. They have a huge inventory. The folks at Circle B Diecast love racing and support drivers like Kyle Larson, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Christopher Bell, and many others with sponsorships and partnerships. And on orders over $20, use promo code MRN for free shipping. Check them out, circlebdiecast.com.
The Dryden Hotline busy today. We appreciate Brad Sweet joining us in the first segment of the show, or the last segment of the show, if you will. Joining us now is Sam Hafertepe Jr., fresh off from a trip to Victory Lane. Hello, Sam. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Yes, sir. I'm glad to be back on for sure.
Well, we are glad to talk to you as an all-star winner, a 410 winner, and boy, I'm telling you what, on Sunday night, you had yourself a handful with a tricky racetrack. I'm telling you, talk a little bit about that race and just tell us about getting the win there on Sunday night.
Yeah, we were terrible on Saturday, and we just really hadn't raced on anything like that all year long, and we've been making gains on speed, and just, it caught us off guard, but I felt like in the B main we got going pretty good there. And then, then Saturday or Sunday, we pulled up, and usually that place is slick top to bottom and real dusty. And then, they had the track pretty open, and probably new ownership there as well. So, they have, they have a task on their hands that, I know how racetracks are. So just got us in a situation where it was going to be rough and choppy all night long, and, we just had to deal with it.
Sam, after, getting back in the 410s the last few years, being a little frustrated, this year committing full-time, running with the World of Outlaws, how satisfying is it to get to Victory Lane?
Well, I wouldn't say there's a weight lifted off our shoulders, but, I've known we've had speed, and we just really couldn't really put together a whole night. We've had some nights where we've run pretty good, but really what we've struggled the most on, is when the track loses grip. We've been struggling really bad with that, and usually that's our go-to in the 360 deal for however many years. It's just, if it got slick, that's where we were moving to the front, and now kind of vice versa with the 410 deal, but we're making gains. I knew running with the Outlaws would help us tremendously. You have to compete at a high level with those guys, and from where we've been competing the last 5 or 6 years, and I figured the best way we were going to be able to learn is just to get out there and take your lickings and just keep on getting better and better and better, and like I say, our results are starting to come around, and we wanted to come run with the All-Stars this weekend to kind of see where we stacked up against the rest of the 410 group. So looks like we stacked up pretty good on Sunday, and looks like we had a little work to do on Saturday.
When you say you're struggling with the slick tracks, which historically had been your strong suit with your 5-time champion, 5 consecutive championship with ASCS, is it a different tire thing? Is it just the horsepower thing? Where have you pinpointed? Where have you put your efforts in getting better in that department?
Definitely tires have something to do with it. The other side of it, usually in the 360, we can tighten the car pretty tight, and usually that's really what I like. And with the 410, every time we tighten up, we go backwards. So it's just something that we have to consciously tell ourselves to, keep the car a little freer. We've just got to figure out ways to make the car do what we need it to do. And like I say, it's a process. Nothing's built overnight, and we know that. And we have a good owner that's willing to take the time to let us figure that out. And that's the most crucial thing. I think we know we need the time, and we're making our strides. And there's going to be nights that we do really, really bad, and then there's going to be nights where like Sunday night where we had some success. So we'll just keep going with the flow of things, and hopefully we start bridging all those gaps with the changing track conditions. And we're like I say, even that we have been struggling on the slicker track, we're still way better than we were to start the year. So definitely seeing progression on our side, and it seems slow when you're the guy making the progressions, but to the rest of the world, they think we're progressing pretty fast. So we'll just keep on going like we have been.
Sam, you mentioned when you're running with the World of Outlaws, you are forced to step up your game, and you've made some big strides. How difficult is that? It's easy now that you've got a victory under your belt. You can look back and talk about the strides that you've gained, and you mentioned that it's not easy being the guy going through the progression. But to get beat up by the World of Outlaws night in, night out, it's tough. How difficult is it, after winning 5 championships, all the success you've had, to kind of manage that confidence and know it's not you and things that you have to work on?
Well, I mean, and some of it was me. There's lots of things. There's, whether it's just our race car, everything. I've told a couple people this, that the last 5 or 6 years, our car, has been so good, so dominant. It's kind of like Brad Sweet every night with the Outlaws. The car's good, he's dominant, he can make smart decisions because he has that ability with his race car. And also, he's doing a good job too. He's got to race smart. When your stuff's that good, you start racing differently. And when your stuff's like ours, you're kind of in desperation mode all the time. So it's a big and like when we were winning all the time with ASCS. I mean, I bet some races I could run 80% all night long, and maybe 2 or 3 laps I could go really, really hard to get where I needed to get to, and then I ran 80% and ran smart. And right now, not everybody has the luxury of, having the best cars every night. All the Outlaw guys are pretty good, but, there's some guys like Brad Sweet that dominate quite a bit. So I think honestly for me, it's just running 100% all the time. It just changes. I haven't been doing that. We've been, for the last 5 or 6 years, we've had such dominant race cars. We haven't had to raise it up to that extra notch very often. There's times throughout the night, but with the Outlaws, the way things are right now, I mean, you're 100% every lap, and it's definitely a change. And I think I've changed myself. I've been able to ramp that up as well, and I'm getting better with that. And our cars are different. Just the tires. There's so many things that go hand in hand with it. But like I say, I think it's all coming full circle. It's just taking some time.
Years and years ago, we had Shane Stewart on this program. He had won like 4 or 5 straight 360 Nationals, had all that success with Bernie, or not Bernie, with, Kyle's guy, or
Paul Silva. Yeah.
Paul Silva had all that success. And he came on the show, and he just was like, I don't want to be pigeonholed as a 360 driver. I want to be a 410 driver. And I sense a little bit of that with you. Is there part of that now that you've done everything you can do in the 360 world, and now it's time for Sam Hafertepe Jr. to take it? Is there part of that going on with you to establish yourself in the 410 ranks?
Well, it's not even, I don't even think it's that. I just think, 360 doesn't get any credit at all. Like some guys are forced to race 360s because that's what they have and that's what they can do. And I just think some of those guys don't get the credit that they deserve. Like, I've always said that, we worked really hard on getting fast in that. Obviously the competition level, there's nothing close to the Outlaws ever, but you know, those guys are good. Like it's, you know, and they just don't get they don't get the credit they deserve. It's not a deal like, well, I'm just a 360 racer or I care about that. It's not that I care about that. I think a guy that wins at any level, you know, like, you know, and I think ASCS is a higher level of racing. Do I think it's the All-Stars? Do I think it's the Outlaws? No, not at all. But, you know, Aaron Reitzel dominated ASCS, you know, when he was there, you know, the year before, you know, when I broke my arm, you know, we dominated. Then Aaron goes and runs All-Stars, and he dominated that too. I think that all those guys are good racers. You know, Shane Stewart's a prime example. You know, a guy like Jason Johnson, prime example. You know, they all were victorious in everything that they did. They were all successful. So I hate the classification. You know, just, you know, like to me, a sprint car racer is a sprint car racer. Yeah, are the World Outlaws the best? There's no doubt about it. But you know, when it comes down to it, if these guys have the motivation and they're smart and they know what they're doing, I think, you know, they can be successful whether it's a 360 or a 410. It doesn't really matter. I just think 360 guys get a bad rap sometimes. But as far as like, and we kind of proved that, you know, like the 410 guys come down to West Texas last year, and I mean, we won by like 3 seconds, and the top 3 were all ASCS guys, and 410 regular guys, you know, were barely inside the top 5. So it's, like I say, it's more of what you run and what you're used to. Mm-hmm. And, you know, what you're successful with. And you know, right now we're focusing solely on the 410. So, you know, hopefully, you know, success keeps coming our way. And I proved that to be true.
Well, and I think what you said earlier, too, it's also a different tire. There's differences between the cars that aren't, you know, maybe like you could run so well on a slick track with a 360. Some of those things apply, too. When you've got so much success in a 360, hop into a 410, depending on the series, there can be differences that are out of your control. So
for sure, yeah, there's a lot of changes, very quite a bit anyway.
Yeah, I feel like people don't realize that, and you're so used to your 360. You had a great dominant car for so many years. You had so much confidence, like you said. Sam, where do you head from here? You're gonna stay with the All-Stars? You're gonna head to PA, Eldora? Where are you going?
We're supposed to be at Eldora this weekend. Hopefully the weather cooperates. It doesn't look too good for right now, but we're gonna do that. Then we're gonna go out to PA the next week, and then back with the All-Stars for the Circle City races and Kokomo and all that for you know, we'll run that race routine point fund they have going there, so that'll be good. Obviously we like when guys like Kevin Rudine give back to racing. Pretty special.
Boy, it is, no doubt about that. You are right. Well, Sam, I'll tell you what, we're used to talking to you a lot. Okay, and so we're glad we're getting to talk to you a lot again this year, or at least got one kicked off here, and I'm sure we'll talk to you down the road. But always appreciate your time. I really appreciate your insight when I catch up with you at the track. You're always one of the guys that takes a lot of time and explains things to a knucklehead radio guy so that I can understand things, so I appreciate that. But really appreciate seeing you in Victory Lane, and again, thanks for joining us here on Wing Nation.
Yeah, thank you guys. Hopefully we can make it more of a regular occasion this year.
There we go. We'll do that for sure. Thanks, Sam.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Boy, I'm telling you what, there's a lot to unpack there with him.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's all good. It's all good. I thought when I saw him down at Screven this year, I said, man, he's fast. Then he goes to Volusia, he was really fast. But I think he's right. The tying, we have a conversation that'll come up this weekend on our TV program with Danny Dietrich.
Yeah.
And Danny talked about how important qualifying is in the World of Outlaw world, and how he feels pretty good about where he's at now with it. I think that's where, when you look at Sam early part of this year was rolling in qualifying. Yep. He had a quick time, I think.
Even at Bristol,
Bristol he set a new track record. So he's kind of got that aspect of the program down. I talked about it. Brad, from lap 25 to 30, he's rolling, and Sam is, okay, dry slick track, trying to figure it out. And there's no knock on him. But I'm telling you what, Hafertepe starts to put a full night together.
Yeah. He gets as comfortable as he was in that 360.
Oh,
Watch
boy,
out.
I'm telling you what, batten down the hatches. Because he is he can drive a race car.
Absolutely.
He is extremely talented, and I like the team. I like the way they're doing it. They're just slowly climbing the ladder. The expectations this year, they haven't gotten themselves upside down with expectations. Mm-hmm. I like it. I like where Sam's at, that's for sure. Sage Fruit has been a longtime supporter of sprint car racing, sprint car fans, and us here at Wing Nation. What they pride themselves on most is providing shoppers with the highest quality, best tasting apples, pears, and cherries available. Go to sagefruit.com and make sure you ask your local grocer for Sage Fruit. Sunoco is a proud partner of Wing Nation. Not all fuels are created equal, so fill up with Sunoco Ultratech. Sunoco Ultratech is a top-tier detergent gasoline that is proven to make your engine run cleaner, longer, and more efficiently. Using the same detergent package as what is blended into some of Sunoco's high-performance race fuels, you can trust Ultratech for your everyday race. Whether you're headed to the track or just hitting the road, fill up with Sunoco Ultratech and fuel your best.
Aggressive Hydraulics provides solutions for virtually every industry that uses hydraulic cylinders. For instance, agriculture, construction, defense, emergency services, energy, food processing, forestry, marine, mining, railway, and even truck equipment. They design and manufacture mobile-style single-stage cylinders as well as multi-stage telescopic cylinders. It's a no one-size-fits-all approach with Aggressive Hydraulics. Check out their story at aggressivehydraulics.com.
Fun chatting with Sam and Brad today.
Yeah.
You know, over the last few years, they've won all the big championships with ASCS and World of Outlaws. And so I thought it was kind of interesting when we're talking yesterday to put this together. I'm like, well, this is kind of like old days here when we get these two back together because we have had a lot of conversations with the two of them.
Yeah.
And, well, I'm telling you what, we're living right. We're living really right. So sprint car racing is alive and well. That is good. Speaking of sprint car racing being alive and well, Darren Pittman seems like he's landed pretty good.
Yeah, I'm excited for him.
Yeah, I am too. So we're going to chat with Darren on Thursday in our podcast presented by Dry Dean, by DRF Racing Oils. Be anxious to see where Darren's at.
Mm-hmm.
He's ready to get back behind the wheel a little bit, but he's also house hunting in Texas with the new business. The next chapter, if you will. So look forward to chatting with Darren. And then, as I kind of alluded to there just a bit ago, coming up this weekend on Wing Nation TV, presented by Sage Fruit, Danny Dietrich is going to join us and talking all things Pennsylvania because flip the weekly calendar over. Next week at this time, the coolers will be iced down in Pennsylvania. We'll be ready for the Gettysburg Clash and the Morgan Cup. So, again, thanks to Brad Sweet. Thanks to Sam Hafertepe Jr. More important than all of that, thank you for joining us here on Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires.